I'm Steve Brielmaier. I'm a doctor of physical therapy at the VA Medical Center in Minneapolis. My specialty there is working with amputees. One of the joys of my life is being able to have someone who feels that their life is over and being able to show them that there's more to it. And then to have them walk out of the hospital, it's a very tangible reward. I love it. Eventually got to a point in my life where I felt like God really wasn't present there. And when I went to school into my medical profession and started studying more and taking more of the sciences, I began to feel that science proved that there really isn't a God out there, that things came about by coincidence and chance. I eventually felt that really I was probably too smart to believe in God, that I could easily explain away His existence. Many years later, I met a person who had a very strong Christian faith, and this person became a very important part of my life, and a person whose opinion I valued greatly. And eventually my friend asked me to go to church, and I said yes, because I was searching at this point, and I wanted to know what they had. And so we went to River Valley. I remember a sense of the sudden approachability of God that I hadn't felt in my upbringing. Afterwards, after church and the ride home, we discussed what had been said and the things that had come up and my ideas, and I found this desire to know more. And one weekend we came back, my friend and I came back from an ice fishing trip up north, and we were driving down through the North Country, and as so often happens in the long trips, I ended up being the only one awake, which was good since I was driving. And I felt compelled to ask God to prove that He wanted me. And I thought about a time on another trip through rural Minnesota when I had seen a wolf on the side of the road, and it just popped into my head. And so I asked God to show me a wild dog. And then over the next several hours, driving down through the woods of Minnesota, I didn't see anything. I saw a couple of bald eagles, and I told God those didn't count. And eventually got home. And when I got home, nothing had happened. I was disappointed. I felt that God was telling me He really didn't want me. And so I thought, well, that's it, fine, I got my answer. I can pull back now. And then I left to run an errand. As I pulled out of my suburban neighborhood and turned up the road, a coyote passed in front of my truck. And I knew that that was it. That was what I'd been asking for. And God had waited until I was alone to give it to me. It was right here. That's where I saw it. Eventually, it came to the point where I was in the car again with my friend. We were talking about a friend of ours whose daughter was ill. And my friend said that she was going to pray for this little girl. And I said, I will too. And my friend said to me, why? And I said, well, because I want to do something to help. She said, well, your prayers don't mean anything. And I couldn't believe what I was hearing. How could they not mean anything? She said, well, you don't believe. And I'd never thought of that. And so then my friend asked me the question, then why do you want to pray? And I said, because I feel something when I do it. I feel some power. I feel as if I'm contributing. And she said, why is that? And it was then that I realized it was because I believe. And that changed how everything in the world looked to me. And then Easter came, and Pastor Rob asked if anyone would like to raise their hand on this day. And I did. And I walked across that bridge. And since that time, I have found joy in family. I have found joy in creation. I have found peace that I didn't know existed. It was what I've been looking for.